Let's give it a.
Welcome everybody to the November 21st Ortelius architecture meeting. Let's see. Tracy, just want to update everybody on the change of plans, and we'll just start getting that out there.
So first, yes, I have no idea. I have no excuse for not making it on Monday. I wish I did. I didn't even realize I missed the meeting until yesterday.
Well, that tells me the priority that my text messages get.
Well, apparently on Monday I was distracted. I'm not sure what was going on. Yes, I do know what was going on. I've been working on video, so I don't know how it happened, and I apologize. But yes, just a quick note on the outreach. I need to move that outreach, our party from the 11th to the 12th. I have been invited to attend a Space Force Igniter program in Albuquerque, and they're having some functions on that morning I don't want to miss, and I don't want to miss the party either. So I'm hoping that it's okay to move it from the 11th to the 12th. Hey, Sasha.
Yeah, so you're just going to go ahead and do an email to the group thread then, letting them know it's moved and
Yep.
an update.
And I'll update. Yeah, I'll
update the website, obviously.
Yeah, unless somebody has a strong opinion about not doing it, and then we'll figure something else out. Okay.
We'll take silence as an approval.
Yes. I still don't know how I missed the meeting. I just don't. And I don't even know. I'm not even going to talk. It was so embarrassing yesterday when I realized. And now, yes, Tony, part of the reason why I realized is I finally looked at my text messages.
Well, just, good to know where I stand.
Or my phone text messages, one of the two, right? I guess I was a little distracted because my brand new car didn't start, and I had to deal with hauling it to it's a long story. Monday was not a good day. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so that the holiday party will be rescheduled for December 12th, which is a Thursday.
Hope you got a monster truck, Tracy, for a new car. Apparently they're great in traffic.
There you go.
I have a hybrid. Okay, here's the problem. I have a hybrid, and there's an auxiliary battery to start the car.
Oh, okay.
In somebody's brilliant world, they decided to put that auxiliary battery underneath the car, and in order to get to it, you have to pull the whole pan off.
Oh my word, that sounds like such a capitalist design. Yeah, and over-engineered. Capitalist design so that you have to spend lots of money on accessories to get there. Now
$600.
Oh my word, $600. That's insane.
To change a battery.
See?
And well, it hasn't been completed yet, so we'll see what the actual end cost is after all this. But anyways.
You guys aren't old enough to remember this, I don't think. Maybe Tracy or Steve, but Ford sold a version of their Thunderbird that you basically had to get to the two rear spark plugs. You had to take the hood off or lower the engine or both.
I remember that being on some cars were like that. There's another model car that you had a spark plug like that up against the firewall that you couldn't get to.
Yeah, this was a 7-liter engine, which means it weighed about 500 pounds.
It's ridiculous. That's worse than my case. That's way worse because my battery is supposed to last 10 years. I'm not sure what happened. It could have been.
In the 60s, spark plugs didn't last 10 years.
No, they lasted a year if you're lucky.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
All right, back to the topic at hand, which is architecture instead of well, we are talking about bad design of stuff, so we'll continue on that. On the bad design front,
Jenkins plugins.
the Jenkins plugin. Sasha,
Yeah.
did you have any luck with that HTML plugin getting past that error with
No,
the folder?
no, I haven't because my system is still broken. I haven't
Okay.
had a chance to get onto it, fix it yet. I have to. I'm going to reset. I have to reset my entire environment, and I've just had I've got another interview, second round interview tomorrow, and the first one was building an API, and now I have to put it into CI/CD, and so I've been a bit stuck with that stuff.
Nope, that
And
works.
Which language
sorry,
did you
guys,
use to create the API?
Python, it's the bomb.
Great.
Not complicated.
But Steve, were you able to share the old plugin from
I did
Deploy
find
Hub?
it. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, we did start building Docker Compose. That I was thinking what you could do is you could persist. I could persist well, it's got persistence, but you could persist the plugins in the Docker Compose already in the repo so that nobody has to keep reinstalling them. In some way, store a lot of the config in the repo already.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, something like that. Otherwise, all you're getting is a vanilla Jenkins. And you still got to go. You still got to go about configuring GitHub or whatever, so repo provider you're using.
What? So here's the repo, but I think it moved. Let me drop it in chat.
Why don't you share your screen and go through what that is in that repo? It's something that Arvin could put his head into and understand how the repo was built.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to the repo right now. Let me share my screen.
I did meet with Joseph, and I helped him get it up and running. It's working. It works fine on his machine. But obviously, there's still configuration you've got to do, right?
Somewhere my cut and paste didn't work. I don't know. That's so weird. Jenkins. What the heck? Jenkins CI. Let's see if that project still exists.
I posted the link in the chat.
Oh, thank you,
This
Arvin. I
one,
had a
Steve?
typo. Tracy, you're on mute. Yep. So let's see what we got in the source directory. So this is the Java one, and I was trying to keep us from having to use the Java and probably use Groovy, or just take that other HTML plugin and rework it so we can use that as a starting point. There's not a lot here because of the way the Jenkins stuff works. You have a lot of files, but if you look at them, there's not a lot in it. They're pretty short, a couple hundred lines long. So this is what we may need to fall back on, is go back to the Java version of this stuff. And there's pieces of this that will add menus. So like this Deploy Hub menu, will go through and add things onto your left menu bar in the Jenkins UI. So it's pretty simple Java code. I wouldn't say it was overly complicated. There's just a lot of files all in different places that you have to kind of wrap your head around, just so you can get it all packaged together in the right world. Let's see if that HTML on Sasha, what was the name of that one? It was like
I'll get it for
HTML.
you. Mine was working. The last thing I had to fix was just being able for it to find it.
Here it is, probably the HTML
Yeah.
publisher.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
So we could actually start with this one once we get it kind of up and going. And this is probably going to be Java, of course. Java and JavaScript. Let's see what the JavaScript looks like. Update
We can all
body. Yeah, Arvin, what?
we can also create a plugin for Jenkins SaaS. For that, we have to use Golang.
Right. We'll just start with Jenkins because most companies, I don't know the difference. We'd have to find out from Mark Waite what the difference is in the adoption between Jenkins and Jenkins X at that level. I have a feeling the original Jenkins is still the more popular one.
Yeah, and can we collaborate with any Jenkins developer or Jenkins community to create that plugin?
What will happen is they'll just probably point you over to their tutorials.
Yep.
That's my guess what will happen. Brian Dawson is working on getting us some past, I think they're past CloudBees folks that have a lot of experience with Jenkins. So we can always reach out to them to get us the details. Like on this front, it looks like it's just 5 files that we'll just need to kind of tweak, and a couple here. So I think this repo, the HTML repo, publisher repo, will probably be easier to start from than the original deploy hub one. Let me drop that in chat.
Like I said, mine was working. It was generating the report.
Yeah.
I was getting a report. Obviously, the display part hadn't been written yet, right? Like, where do you put that, and how do we want to do that? But
Yeah,
the functionality was there.
Yeah, and that's what my guess is. Let's see, publish HTML step. And again, this is pretty simple. So what we really our next step is to get this plugin working so we can actually see with just some dummy data what the UI looks like, so we can say, yeah, that's a thumbs up for us to go from, or if we have to go back and fall back to the starting with the deploy hub plugin. Let's see if they. You're on mute again, Tracy.
Never mind.
So it's going to publish that.
I put a link to the Jenkins plugin Slack channel.
Yeah, and that would be another place we can go and ask questions and stuff.
That's what I would recommend.
That's a plugin link, like a Slack plugin.
Oh, that's a Slack plugin?
Yes.
Oh, well, there's got to be a place for...
There'll be a Slack channel out there for Jenkins, would be my guess. So we really need to just give this one a go so we have a better understanding what it looks like and stuff. Because they have some screenshot here, but it's like how to configure it, but they don't show the screenshot of what it actually does. So, but that's kind of where we're at. Arvin, did you have any luck getting your Jenkins stood up? Your Docker version
Uh,
of Jenkins?
Je- Jenkins is running in the Docker, and we tried the Docker version for Ortelius, but it's not working. So currently, like I'm running Jenkins in the Docker,
Okay, good.
but for Ortelius, we have to use the real application.
Yeah, we'll just Sasha was working on that, but his infrastructure fell over, took a bad tumble, and
Yeah, but I'm gonna fix it.
yeah.
Uh,
But in the meantime, what we need to do is just step back a little bit and look at the installing this HTML publisher plugin into your Jenkins world and into Sasha's, and then get it to work and see what the output looks like.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and if we can get some screenshots by our next meeting, that would be great, or a quick little demo of how this HTML plugin works, and then we can decide what our next step is to hook together that with Ortelius. I'm assuming that we're going to have to make some coding changes, but it's going to be really deciding on where we're going to start from to make those coding changes. And
Yeah,
obviously,
also,
we'll have back-end coding changes to render like a new HTML page for a component, or we maybe even do an iframe or something. I don't know. We'd have to see how it acts inside of Jenkins.
Yeah,
also
it was
we can
a
reach out.
post-build step in Jenkins. I remember. Sorry,
What was that, Sasha?
Yeah.
it was a post-build step. I've actually got the repo because I was going to publish it into one of my blogs once I got it working, and then I got my,
Yeah,
I don't know, my infrastructure went wobbly, probably because of electricity.
yeah. It's going on
Uh,
summer break.
in the me Yeah, in the meantime, we can also do something like reach out to the maintainer of HTML Publisher plugin and get idea from them like how we can extend it.
Yeah, if you want to do that, you can go ahead and reach out to them. I'm sure they have. Uh,
Yeah, because in
let's-
the Jenkins plugin page, they are showing their names in the maintainer list.
yep.
Um,
And
I can share my my repo where I store the Jenkins configuration. You'll see it there, how I configured it, how I started configuring it. I'll just find it quickly.
oh, here's interesting. Let me share my screen again. Um, so what I did was just back up a little bit. So I went over to Open Issues, and it looks like the plugin is using the Jenkins. What would this be? Could be. Oh, it's going to be the Jenkins org for that. And if we look at this, person has posted some reports. So even though they're having problems, um, we can. Whoops. Come on, go back there. Open issues in Jira. Oh, that's a Jira instance. All right.
Um, I posted my repo, the demo app that I got from your documentation, Steve. I
Okay.
just
Cool.
forked it, and
Cool.
then I posted my link there, and it's got an Ortelius TOML file that I'm using, and then in the Jenkins file, you'll see my publish HTML code at the bottom, Ruby code at the bottom.
Cool.
And the thing I wanted to get working was the report directory and stuff. That's what I wanted to get working.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it was generating the report fine, but it didn't know it couldn't. It was just pathing, of where to store it. It was
Yeah.
having an issue with. Yeah.
Let's see. So unable to use. That's their setup. Yeah, I was just trying to hope to see if there's report viewing. If they had, oh, interesting. So this is the menu item on the build output, I believe, and it looks like this person's having multiple HTML reports showing up. But it's interesting that gives us kind of like an idea of where the report will end up on the left-hand side. So that will work for us. We'll be able to go called HTML report. We'll be able to rename that to Ortelius dashboard or whatever we want to call it.
Exactly.
So I think that based on what I'm just seeing at these issues out here, that we may not be that far off using it.
Yeah, no, we're not that far off there.
Let's see, combine multiple reports.
I'm just going to reset my entire environment and start from scratch.
Yeah, do that after you get your second interview done.
Yeah, the irritating thing is it's still down. I wanted to use my environment for my interview tomorrow, so I had to make a plan. And
very true.
Well, that definitely takes priority.
Yeah. But after tomorrow, I'll be a lot more freed up to contribute to this Ortelius.
I shared a YouTube video link in the chat, which is showing the output.html plugin.
This YouTube.
Yes.
Cool. Oh, that guy's a legend. Jeez, I watched so many of his videos.
Now we will get 1 or 2 ads from YouTube site.
Yeah, let me skip that.
Some nice adverts.
You can click on in the right side.
They should use Darren's face for the face of Jenkins.
Yeah, like around 411, you can click.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. He made a video. That is so rad. I learned a lot from him.
Oh, wait, that's 3. 411. There we go. I just turned off the sound so you guys didn't have to.
Yeah.
Trying to get to the timeline again. Huh, I didn't. Let's see what that does there. Okay, so it's archiving the report.
Thanks for this link, Arvind.
Oh, yeah, and
looks like he called it a surefire report. Ah,
yeah.
Cool. That's perfect. That's going to be exactly what we want to be able to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one thing we have to change is currently they have a fixed structure of that tables, and we have to clean that all, and we have to format that.
I think that surefire report is him running a surefire step. So surefire is a static code analysis tool, and I think he's running the surefire tool to generate the HTML report, and then taking that HTML report and throwing it inside of Jenkins. And that's exactly what we'll want to do.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I'm not sure because in the video demo, he also shared the GitHub repo link, which I also shared in the chat. So you can take a look at the Jenkins file and the Jenkins publisher file.
Yeah, let's take a look at. Let me share my screen again. Yeah, so let's look at that Jenkins file. Yeah, so he's doing creating the Surefire report as part of his Maven build, basically.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then on the success, he goes and publishes it. And it looks like it's pulling up a target site directory.
Where did he publish that to? Target site. Okay. That's cool. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the first Jenkins files contain the whole step.
Yeah, that's going to be the whole thing. So I would let's see here, Docker does the build, does a push, runs Heroku. So that's not really doing so he has this the second pipeline that they're running that goes and creates the report and pushes it. So this looks like this is going to be exactly what we're gonna need. So the goal for Arvin and Sasha, when you both have a chance, is to give this a go on your local machine and just create some hello world HTML and have it published so it shows up inside of your Jenkins output in the Jenkins GUI. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. I'm using your demo app, Steve, that you published. That's what I'm using. I just forked it.
Okay. Cool.
I'll put my URL there. You'll see in the link on my GitHub. That's what I'm using, Jenkins demo app, and you'll see my configuration there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, could you put that in the chat?
Which link?
What Sasha just talked about.
You want to? You mean
add it to the doc.
The demo app?
To it.
Your the link to your forked repo.
Yeah, it's in the chat.
Okay.
Above that little bit of code I put there, you'll see. But I can publish it. I can push it again.
Yeah, here it is.
Okay, I found it. The Jenkins. Yeah, I got it.
Ortelius Jenkins demo app. Yeah, it's the one Steve used. It's in that PDF that Steve published about the CLI and all of that, and showing how it works. That's what I used.
Okay.
Cool.
And it's also in my blog.
Okay.
When Jenkins marries Ortelius.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find most of it in there. And I'm going to update that blog in with this once we've cracked this. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think once we get that plugin sorted out, then we'll be able to figure out what we want the HTML page to actually look like. So let's get this the plugin working, and then if we are able to achieve that by our next meeting, and then at our next meeting we'll be able to talk about exactly what we're going to put on the HTML page, because there will be some server side stuff that we need to do to create a page that doesn't have like the menu bar and stuff. Like when you go into the Ortelius UI, we have the menu bar on the left and things like that. So we'll want to kind of clean that up so it's fits better into the Jenkins UI. But that shouldn't be a big deal to do.
Cool. I should have all my stuff up and running before then.
Awesome. All right. Any other questions?
I just have one quick announcement. The cybersecurity and CI/CD working group has gotten approved. I need to do some onboarding work. Yeah. So come January. Yeah, I got to get some more onboarding work done. And once all that's completed, we'll do a proper launch of it in January with the CDF doing some blogs and announcements for us.
So that would be, so that's kind of like our deadline to have this, we'll do a dog and pony show of the Jenkins, the Ortelius inside of Jenkins.
It's a perfect opportunity, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our deadline date would be to be able to have something really pulled together and showable to the world for that first meeting.
Yeah, I'd like to help out on that. What do you call it? A SIG, special interest group.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
I'd like to be a part of that to help you, Tracy.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna try very hard to pull in at least one person from Jenkins X, a person from Jenkins, a person from Shipwright, Tecton, and Spinnaker to be on those
That's something I can do.
Yeah.
You're a very talented man, mister. You do a lot.
Thanks. I'll take that from
You're very
there
talented.
You go. I also posted a link in Discord about how somebody wrote a great article, I thought, on how Jenkins can stay relevant in the next decade, which was quite interesting, just to read through that. I'll just put it now in the chat here. It was on dzone.com. Yeah. And he's basically writing why Jenkins still has a place in 2024. I thought it was, even though 2024 is almost over, I still thought it's probably worth a good read. Worth a read, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot to be said about Jenkins. It's sustained for a long time. The problem is that, our architecture has changed so much. And so people are looking for other ways to do things, but that doesn't mean Jenkins can't pivot for it, right?
Yeah. And it makes some really interesting, sort of suggestions about how Jenkins could pivot, which I thought was pretty cool.
Well, and also it's
and it's short.
I'll share it on the social networking channels for Ortelius.
Cool. All right. Well, I gotta drop off. Anything else?
No.
All right.
Hey, thanks everybody.
All right, thanks.
Cool,
get your Jenkins and that HTML plugin working.
Yes, I can hear the U.S. Army in you, Steve, because you're working at the government, right?
Yep, I'm working.
I have to say yes, Captain.
Yeah, hardly. Trying to protect our nuclear arsenal.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I read an article that said 58% of the vulnerabilities, the nefarious vulnerabilities that are being pushed through the supply chain right now are to attack the U.S. federal government.
Heck. Yo, that's rough.
That's a lot. 58%.
That's a lot. That's a scarce amount of. Yes.
Well, and just a little while ago, they had a pretty major outage up at the lab, but it wasn't because of a software hack. It's because of a backhoe that dug up the fiber. Took it out for 2 days, the whole lab.
Wow, who needs to know software? You can just dig up the cable.
That's awesome.
It's much easier.
Yep. Along the highway in Oklahoma, just get the backhoe out and take out all the major cloud providers.
Cut the shoelace. Ties everything together.
Well, that's kind of like what happened with the Olympics, where they took out all those cables along the train line. And they shut down the train line before the Olympics for like 2 days, and they had hundreds of thousands people going into Paris, and they couldn't get there because they
stranded.
I wouldn't say it was terrorism, but it was a major attack on their infrastructure,
absolutely,
wiping out the train line.
Jeepers. It must be a bit of a concern also, those undersea cables, right? I mean, that must be also a bit of a concern.
Yep. Well, I got to run. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
cheers,
thanks.
everybody.
See ya.
Bye.